Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back with another one. It's Igampumi Tigalelo. Please make sure that you like my videos and you subscribe to my channel. So in today's topic, I am going to be talking about what I don't want in a partner, a maid, a spouse, a husband, a hubby, a fiance, whatever it is you choose to categorize the thyself, Okay, fine. Let me get down to it. What I don't want in a partner is a man who is not healed. A man who is not healed, yo guys. I don't want a man who is not healed. I don't want a man who is narcissistic. I don't want a man who cannot take accountability. I'm always the wrong one. When things don't work out his way, the blame is put on me. I don't want a man who is not attentive, that does not listen. I don't want a man who I have to be a mommy to. Like, what I mean by that is I have to always take charge of the relationship. I have to always make sure that they're good. I have to always, kind of nest their feelings even when they are wrong. I have to, unconditionally love them even when they don't treat me right, and I have to tolerate them all just because I love them. I don't want a man who is not willing to do the inner work of healing, who's not willing to grow up on an emotional and mental level. I don't want a man who is emotionally immature, a man who thinks that seeking revenge and plotting against a person when they do you wrong or when they don't follow through is the best way to resolve any situation, instead of them reflecting on themselves, healing, and respecting the person's boundaries and willing to do the work. I don't want a man who takes pride in wanting to see vengeance, and that's a man that's not healed. I don't want a man who has an eye for everyone. A man who cannot be faithful, a man who struggles with commitment, a man who is untruthful, untrustworthy, a man who cannot take accountability when they are wrong, a man who will shift blame, a man who will not recognize when they've hurt a woman and they still want to overshadow that person's feelings or invalidate how they feel just because they want to feel good in that moment or in that process. I'm sorry guys for the extra noise that's echoing, because it's my mom downstairs taking a phone call, so I'm sorry about that. So but I want to continue from the Oh my god, I don't want a man who is emotionally unavailable but is available when it suits him. A man who's I don't want a man who is conveniently going to connect with me just because he wants to. I'm a very, very, very self-assured woman, and therefore I do see through the BS. I just choose sometimes to tolerate, just to see how far can it go, and just to see how far that person is willing to kind of take what I'm giving them, up until I no longer have it in me to take it. It's the noise everywhere. This message does not want to come out. It doesn't want to come out. It doesn't want to come out because as I'm recording this video, I am actually setting affirmations to the universe that this is not what I want from a mate, and it doesn't want me to say it. I don't want a man that is going to make me feel like I have to compete for his attention. I don't want a man who is going to make me feel like that is going to make me feel like I'm not good enough, man. I don't want a man that is too talkative again. I like talking, okay? I am the talkative one. I like a man who listens. I also like don't like a man who is always valuing their friends, their circle of friends more than me. Like, there are some men out there who just worship their friends. Everything is about friends. Like, my friends are going there, my friends are doing this, my friends this, my friends that. I want a man who can think for themselves. A man who's not going to like run away to his friends every time we have a, you know, every time we have a misunderstanding. I'm sorry guys, I hope you can hear me, but I'm doing this video either way, okay? There are so many distractions. I don't want a man who is controlled by their environment, like their friends, their family is always having an opinion. Every time we have a problem, they quickly run to the friend, and the friends, they can convince you otherwise. They can tell you wrong things. They can tell you from their own experience, okay? And they're gonna tell you things that they're gonna feed on you. You know, some friends, they can be like that. I'm not talking for every friend, okay? But I want a man who's assertive, a man who can take control of their own problems of their own household. I want a man that's like that. I don't want a man who is easily distracted when they just feel like, oh, you know, that situation looks promising, and then they easily distract and navigate through that. Whether it's fun, whether it's, oh, I feel like screaming because I'm trying to record this video and I'm trying to I'm trying to make it known that I'm being distracted here. So, I don't know, something just wants me to tolerate things I don't want in a mate. I don't want a man that is going to make me feel hurt all the time and thinks that it's okay and that is love. I don't want struggle love and a man who sees struggle love as the real love. That is toxic. That needs to be healed. You need to heal. I don't want a man that is going to constantly take advantage of the fact that I love them, because like I usually like give you a long rope to hang yourself until there's no rope anymore for you to hang yourself on, okay? I don't want a man who like gossips a lot, like about their family situations, their friends situations. You know, my friends, you know, I knew that he was gonna have experienced this. My aunt or my sis is not doing me right, this and that. Gossip after gossip, like negative energy. I don't want it. I don't want a man who is so boxed in to a point that they're not willing to open up and have a different kind of like take other people's, you know, sides of seeing things and not their own. I don't want a man who is not giving, guys. Giving in a sense of like finances, a man who's not giving with his time, a man who's not gonna spoil me, take me out on a date, and I reciprocate the very same energy. Guys, I wouldn't want to get in a relationship or connection and thereby somebody's son is always doing the work and I do nothing. I'd rather stay away. I'd rather not be in a relationship. I'd rather say I'm really not ready for a relationship. I don't want a connection right now, because I'm not gonna be willing to like really meet you halfway. When you do things, you're gonna feel drained. Not unless, yes, I come across a man who's well established enough to a point that if I don't do anything, it just doesn't matter as long as I love them. As long as I love them, I don't have to do shit. I just have to be me, and ta-da, that's it. Well, that does happen, guys, okay? But I'm not declining anybody who is not fully well established, okay? I'm just saying that if I were to come across a person where like they don't really need a lot from me, they just need me to be me and to be happy, then I mean I'm way more than blessed. But I'm willing to work with a person. I'm the kind of a person I wouldn't want an unfair balance between the relationship. And if I can't really come through that way, I'd rather just really walk away, and just keep my distance. So bad. I don't want a man who's stingy, guys. Stingy with thinking that they have to buy you a chocolate, a gift, like something. Like, be spontaneous, like be a man, lead. You know what they say? Um, whatever you do for a woman, they reciprocate. So if you're not doing anything and I don't reciprocate, what am I going to reciprocate? If you're consistently giving me things to worry about, stress about, I don't feel happy, what do you think the energy is that I'm going to reciprocate back? Because I'm going to reflect on the energy you're giving me. If you're not giving me peace of mind, how do you think I'm going to give you peace of mind? Like, no. Like, no, I cannot be unhappy, and you cannot be the one that always makes me unhappy, and you just want me to be happy all the time. Like, I am happy. Are you okay? You seem to be fine. That I am not, but I am happy. Like, no, no. I don't want a man like that, okay? And I don't want a man who's not ambitious, a man who doesn't trust and believe in himself. If you don't believe in yourself, how am I going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? You have to do in the work first, okay? You have to do in the work first. So I want a man who's self-assured. A man, even if they don't have, they're at their lowest, but they believe in themselves. That is going to really make me believe that you believe in yourself and I can believe in you, okay? And I don't want a man who's not a Christian, who doesn't believe in God. Like, what do you believe in? I'm sorry, I cannot. My center is on God, and I don't think if you're gonna try to convert me in whatever it is that you're doing, and I cannot take it. Okay, so I want a man who believes in God so much to a point that I'm not talking about a pastor, guys, but I want a man who centers God. Like, we hit the fan, we pray about it. We teach each other the word of God. We meditate upon it. We occasionally go to church together. That's the kind of relationship that I want. I want a man who wants to see change in society. A man that potentially maybe we can do humanitarian work together, where we can go out to make a change, go to shelters, homes, and make a change, give back to humanity, kids at school who don't have. I want a man that's like that. So what I don't want is a man that is not ambitious and doesn't trust themselves. Okay, you have to trust yourself. You have to work on yourself. Work on your insecurities, and if you start wanting to work on your insecurities, that's gonna help me work on my insecurities and also help you work on your insecurities, and we're gonna both balance each other out. Okay, so I'm worthy of that kind of relationship and connection, and I know that God does have that for me in this lifetime. Okay, and yeah, too much quitting. Struggle love doesn't only talk about money, it talks about emotional struggle, mental struggle, your heart struggling all the way out. Nothing is ticking the boxes. I've once been in a connection where the other person, when I consistently told them that I'm not happy in the relationship, in the connection, they try to invalidate my feelings and make me feel like I'm wrong for feeling that way, and I'm rude. I'm actually rude for feeling that I'm not fulfilled, I'm not happy. And I'm like, this is where honesty comes in. Like, be honest with yourself and the other person. And if you cannot be honest with each other, then there is something that you need to work on. You need to understand that it's normal to be honest. Maybe you had connections in the past that propelled you to want to feel like you have to be dishonest in order to get by, but not with me, honey. Not with me. And I don't want a man who lies a lot, like impulsive liar, like an impulsive liar, man who lies about anything under the sun. I just ask them, what's the color of the sky? And they say, oh, look, the color of the sky is yellow, but the color of the sky is blue. Like, I don't want that, okay? A man who lies a lot, a man who cannot open up and be vulnerable, always hiding emotions, always hiding who he is, where he comes from, how he grew up, all those things. Like, no, 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 no. Why you don't want me to know things about you? That means you're not invested in me and in the relationship or the connection. Okay? So I don't want a man who is like that. I don't want a man who is too quiet and reserved. Like, balance me out. Okay, balance me out. I don't have to always initiate a conversation. I know that I'm very talkative. I know that I'm very outspoken. And sometimes I do have limitations, yo guys. That's why you can see different personalities in me. Like, sometimes I'm high, sometimes I'm low, sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm excited, sometimes I'm, yeah, energetic, all of those kind of things. But like, don't be too quiet. Every time I'm initiating conversation, every time I'm the one who's initiating conflict resolutions, I'm always the one who's initiating resolutions of the relationship. Like, no, no. I want a man who's going to be a good father to my kids in the future, a man who's going to be best friends with my kids, a man who's going to be very nurturing, you know, a man who is going to do this lifetime with me and who's gonna walk with me through this journey, and we get old and look sexy together while we're doing it, while we're aging. I want a man that I'm gonna age with, and we age like fine wine. We become that couple that they say, oh, they really, like, they don't look their age, they don't look their age. The way they come together, like, wow, they look so amazing together. I want to be that kind of, like, yeah. So I don't also want a man who cannot take care of himself, his physical well-being. Like, you have to take care of your health. I don't advocate for a man to not look healthy. Like, you gotta look healthy. Are you hitting the gym? Well, I don't hit the gym, but I'm going to. Okay, guys. So I don't want to be the person who wants traits from another person, but I cannot deliver myself. So I value that. I value having a healthy relationship. It's not about just looking sexy or being muscular, or it's about living a healthy lifestyle where you don't have too much high cholesterols, you don't have heart problems in the future and stuff like that caused by unhealthiness in the body. Like, whoa, no, 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 we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not judging people who do it otherwise. It's their own way of doing it, and I have my own way. So you gotta be healthy, okay? You gotta be healthy. And then I don't want a man who drinks a lot. I don't want that. Who smokes a lot, or smoke at all. Smoking is just something else. I don't want a man who is quick to anger, like very angry. I'm very angry. I don't want a man who bails out when there's a conflict and just shuts down. Like, okay, can you have your space and then recollect yourself, or like tell me or show me that, okay, I'm not okay right now. I need my space. We'll talk later. Just give me my time, and I understand. That is communication. That is healthy communication. Than a man who just feels like they have to punish you to get their way. Like, no, don't do that. Because don't do that. Don't do that. Because there's nothing, but don't do that. Because if I were to say I'm going to do the same thing, that would mean that I'm not healed myself. That would mean that I'm still low vibrational myself. That would mean that I don't lead by example. So I don't do well with getting back at people. I do well at having to heal and be healed and feel healed and move on, not get back at you or try to make you feel some type of way because of how I'm doing things. No. I always know that if I'm done unjust, God will advocate that for me, whether it's releasing me from that situation or lessons being learned in the process, you know, from both parties. So I love you guys. It's almost like 20 minutes long, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my videos. I love you guys. I'll see you soon next time with another topic. Feel free to comment down below whatever it is that you want me to talk about or you feel like I should talk about. I love you guys.